Well, on Friday, Pakistan Premier Nawaz Sharif, of course, once again raised the K word. He said that the Kashmir issue must be resolved, and he sought the support of the international community. But Mr. Narendra Modi had a reply to that. First, let's take a look at what Nawaz Sharif said at the UNGA.
We were disappointed at the cancellation of the Foreign Secretary level talks by India. The world community too rightly saw it as another missed opportunity. Pakistan is convinced that we must remain engaged in the dialogue process for settling disputes and building economic and trade relations. Let us not ignore the dividends of peace. Mr. President, more than 6 decades ago, the United Nations passed resolutions to hold a plebiscite in Jammu and Kashmir. The people of Jammu and Kashmir are still waiting for the fulfillment of that promise.
मैं पाकिस्तान से मित्रता और सहयोग बढ़ाने के लिए पूरी गंभीरता से शांतिपूर्ण वातावरण में बिना आतंक के साये के साथ द्विपक्षीय वार्ता करना चाहता हूं, लेकिन पाकिस्तान का भी यह दायित्व है कि उपयुक्त वातावरण बनाए और गंभीरता से द्विपक्षीय बातचीत के लिए सामने आए और इस मंच पर बात उठाने से समाधान के प्रयास कितने सफल होंगे, इस पर कईयों को शक है। आज हमें बाढ़ से पीड़ित कश्मीर के लोगों को सहायता देने पर ध्यान देना चाहिए।
That UNGA was not a proper forum for Nawaz Sharif or Pakistan to raise the Kashmir issue.
Right.
I think UNGA is the proper forum to raise Kashmir issue since the UNGA passed Kashmir self-determination in 1948. So it was a proper forum to raise the issue.
Narendra Bhai, when he sworn in, he actually got all the SHARC nations together, and he was the first prime minister in the world who actually talked to the neighbors before even being sworn in.
Right.
So now our sincere efforts are to take the neighbors along with us. And one of them is that we should have a strong relationship and we should not go to the third party. Taking this issue in the UN actually spoils the atmosphere. We cannot discuss things in the shadow of terrorism. That's what he said.
Yeah.
And originally, Modi ji was not supposed to speak on this. He was going to speak on larger issues and different issues. But I think Nawaz Sharif ji toned down the relevance of the entire meeting. After he did that, then the Prime Minister had to respond back, and he responded accordingly.
It was incumbent of the Prime Minister of India to first and foremost reiterate that Kashmir is an indivisible part of India. Have you seen Mr. Modi say that? Do the BJP and Mr. Modi feel any kind of qualms in accepting that Kashmir is an integral part of India and an indivisible part of India? It was a historical blunder for him not to have said it. Secondly, he referred to Pakistan occupied Kashmir, which is an illegal occupation of Kashmir, as Pakistan Kashmir. He kept calling it that at the United Nations. It is a complete blunder to give away territory which Pakistan is holding illegally back to Pakistan as if they have a legitimate right on it. Thirdly, when Pakistan spoke about the United Nations Permanent Security Council not being expanded, why hasn't India said in as many words that we want the Security Council to be expanded and India to be included in that? That is our demand and our right, and we've been back on it again and again. And Manmohan Singh got the African countries to back us. Why has Mr. Modi climbed down from these positions? I think the reference to Pakistan occupied Kashmir as Pakistan's Kashmir, the reference to not saying that Kashmir is an indivisible, integral part of India, these are historical blunders, and I think Mr. Modi has once again reiterated that style cannot always make up for substance.
That Pakistani Kashmir is an autonomous part in Pakistan. It has its own Supreme Court, it has its own Prime Minister, cabinet, and everything. It has its own. Pakistan is legally. It's the Kashmiris living in Pakistan who want who want to stay with Pakistan unless the issue is decided.
Tell Abdullah that you are an illegal occupation of Pakistan occupied Kashmir, because if you go by the plebiscite agreement itself, it first said that you will take your troops, terrorists, and whatever else is there in that part of Kashmir out of there, and then there can be a plebiscite. So, you're in violation of that own agreement if you want to go by that one. But that agreement is a very old one. After we fought couple of wars, there was a Shimla Agreement and Lahore Declaration that is agreed to by both India and Pakistan, which makes it amply clear, it's signed on dotted lines, that there will be no multilateral intervention. It will be only and only a bilateral intervention on Kashmir. So whether you have a Supreme Court or you don't have an arrangement, whatever you have their autonomy, I don't even see you having elections there every 6 years like we have in Indian Kashmir. So please don't give me the spiel about how you're trying to, give an autonomy. Bilawal Bhutto got the cat out of the bag when he said that you will bring Kashmir into Pakistan. We all know what is Pakistan's intentions at the end of the day. You all don't want any Azad Kashmir there. If you wanted Azadi for the Kashmiri, you would come out and help them in the floods.
As you know that in the last few months, there has been firing and tension along the line of control. And therefore, the Modi government has been criticized for taking a soft stance on Kashmir and on Nawaz Sharif's side. When he came on the oath taking of Prime Minister Modi, he deliberately ignored the separatist leaders from Kashmir, and that was a first. So both the parties have been deliberately ignoring this issue. But when the Pakistani envoy in Delhi met the separatist leaders in August, and the Modi government cancelled high-level talks with Pakistan, it was clear that now Pakistan was going to bring up this issue in the UN. And as you've seen in the last few weeks, that even Bilawal Bhutto, who is in opposition to Nawaz Sharif, brought this issue up when he visited Punjab 2 weeks ago, I think. So it is a popular issue in Pakistan, especially in Punjab. There is internal pressure on Nawaz Sharif to bring this issue up and not to bypass it when doing peace talks with India. And for Modi, in his speech in the UN, he has given a clear signal that he doesn't want to take his previous hardline stance, and then there is room for diplomacy there. So I think the water hasn't passed under the bridge.